Support for this podcast comes from St. Alphonsus Sports Medicine, offering services for sports injury and recovery, with physicians and athletic trainers who provide treatment for fractures, dislocations, sprains, strains, and other sports-related issues. More information on services at stalphonsus.org. Love Boise State Public Radio podcasts? They are free to enjoy, but not free to produce. If you can give, your support helps keep shows like Idaho Matters and Scandalize available to everyone. Donate now at boisestatepublicradio.org.
It's The Connector, Idaho Daily News from Boise State Public Radio. I'm Troy Oppie. It is Tuesday, June 16th. We'll learn today the likely new president of Boise State University when the State Board of Education announces a sole finalist this morning. Valley County commissioners gave some early feedback to a proposed land swap around Payette Lake, and a historic military plane will not be stopping in Twin Falls this week as originally planned. We'll get to those stories and more in just a minute, but first, Nampa swore in a new mayor last night after a months-long selection process. Here's Jamie Geary with more.
Darrell Bruner is Nampa's new mayor. Standing with his family at the swearing-in ceremony at City Hall, Bruner gave a short speech honoring the late Mayor Rick Hogeboom.
I may tear up that Mayor Rick Hogeboom is not going to be replaced, but we're going to follow his path to our best ability.
Hogeboom was sworn in as mayor in January, but died from a medical emergency just 2 months later. Bruner was one of 3 candidates under consideration in a selection process that saw nearly 3 months of city council meetings and multiple failed votes. Nampa City Council President David Bills said the process was, quote, a tough road for everybody.
We're grateful to get to this point. Whether we fully agree, we have to agree to disagree, and we got to keep our dialogue moving forward.
Bruner was a Nampa City Council member for 8 years when his term ended in January 2024. He'll serve as mayor until the city's next general election in November 2027. Jamie Geary, Boise State Public Radio News.
The State Board of Education today will announce the sole finalist to become the next president at Boise State University. State law changed this spring, ending a previous requirement for 5 public finalists in a university presidential search. That change was made because the board could not get previously qualified candidates to agree to be public finalists for the BSU president's office, which has been filled on an interim basis following the departure of Marlene Trump for about a year now. The campus community will get to meet the sole finalist in an open forum Wednesday afternoon starting at 3 p.m. That will be live streamed. The finalist cannot officially be hired for at least 10 days after being publicly named. The state board is set to meet again July 1st. Governor Brad Little has named 8 people to a summer working group tasked with evaluating the current state of college athletics and how Idaho universities can remain competitive on that new landscape. The group is chaired by Idaho Falls businessman Courtney Lydiard. It also includes lawmakers Jason Monks and Lori Den Hartog, plus chair of the State Board of Education Kurt Liebeck, and 4 other business leaders. Only one is identified as a former college athlete, and that's Troy Bell, who won the 2002 Big Sky Football Championship playing for Idaho State University. In a news release announcing the group, the governor says it will focus on what Idaho can do at the state and local level, as modeled by other states, and within the reforms being explored by the White House and Congress. The group will take input from university athletic directors and other athletic leaders and is expected to present its findings to the governor in September. After increasing issues with public intoxication, including minors, and fights and generally bad behavior, the city of McCall is spending about $27,000 this year to bring more than a dozen private event security officers to the 4th of July celebrations in downtown and Legacy Park.
We felt that utilizing their services would provide a great benefit to our community and really fill the gap of what we're looking to fulfill in that downtown core, specifically Legacy Park setting, and really to help ensure that our police services aren't fully consumed by that environment alone.
That's McCall's chief of police, Dallas Palmer. He says when dealing with misbehaving minors specifically, it takes a significant amount of time and effort in many cases just to locate a responsible adult to release a minor to. He's hoping parents will talk to their kids before a trip to McCall this holiday to set expectations and will limit unsupervised visits. Palmer says having private security is also expected to be a preventative measure to reduce bad behavior before it reaches a point to where police have to get involved. Alcohol has not been allowed at McCall's public 4th of July celebrations for about a decade. A city spokesperson says the cost for additional private security was covered this year by event sponsors and existing funds, and no part of the celebration had to be reduced to afford it. But McCall is treating this year as a pilot program for the additional security, and it may explore different funding measures in the future, including new tax revenue to help pay for that and other rising costs related to the popular holiday celebration. Valley County commissioners on Monday gave some early feedback to a proposed land swap around Payette Lake. James Dawson has details.
Nearly 16,000 acres of prime real estate around Payette Lake could be going to the U.S. Forest Service under a proposal from the Idaho Department of Lands. They're endowment lands currently managed by the state, which is constitutionally required to get the best return from the property for beneficiaries like public schools. IDL Director Dustin Miller says the state is only generating $500,000 annually from the land, which is valued at $230 million.
It's highly sought after. McCall loves that ground. We love that ground too, but we've got an obligation to produce revenue on there.
One concern raised by Commissioner Catlin Caldwell is whether the Forest Service would put out a wildfire as quickly as the state would.
That would be very important for the water quality of Payette Lake, to make sure that that forest doesn't burn down behind that lake with all the sediment and erosion that would happen.
The size and location of the land the state would receive in return hasn't been identified. Any potential deal could take years to finalize. James Dawson, Boise State Public Radio News.
3 Idahoans with long success in the ski industry at Sun Valley will be inducted into the Intermountain Ski Hall of Fame this August. Multi-time Paralympic medalist Muffy Davis, longtime ski instructor and Nordic Sports Foundation founder Rick Kapala, and Graham Anderson, who led the Sun Valley Ski Education Association, the Pacific Northwest Ski Association, and the U.S. Ski Association during different stretches of his career, will all be inducted later this summer. The hall is run by the Alf Engen Ski Museum Foundation in Utah. It honors contributions to the ski industry for individuals from Idaho, Wyoming, and Utah. Previously inducted Hall of Famers from the Gem State include Peekaboo Street and Claude Jones, who is the founder of Magic Mountain. And some tough luck Monday night for the 2 Idaho restaurateurs nominated for James Beard Awards this year. Ansat's Basque Chorizo and Catering was up for Outstanding Hospitality. Boise's Bar Please was in the running for the Best New Bar Award. Both categories have coast-to-coast competition, but neither was named the winner at last night's annual James Beard Foundation Awards. They are considered the Oscars of the restaurant industry. And finally, on the Connector today, a reminder of a special event this afternoon in Ketchum, America in Pursuit. In recognition of America 250, a community conversation on the history of immigration in Idaho featuring NPR's Jimena Bustillo. You can find more details and free registration on our website, boisestatepublicradio.org. That event starts today at 5:30 at the Community Library in Ketchum. I'm Troy Oppie. Make it a great day. Catch you back here again tomorrow.
Each story you hear on Planet Money starts with a question. What happens if we refund tariffs? Why are groceries so expensive? At NPR, we stand for your right to be curious, because the forces shaping our world can be hard to see. Follow NPR's Planet Money wherever you get your podcasts and start seeing how the economy really works.